Okay, so you all should have received an email from me with login information for ParalegalSpace. And what I sent you was an enrollment key for you to be able to log in or to set up your own login yourselves with your email and a password of your choice. If you did not receive that email, please do check your spam folder. If you still do not see it in your spam folder, please reach out to me, svp@paralegalspace.com, and I will be happy to resend you that information. However, we are going to log into ParalegalSpace with our email and chosen password, and here we go. Now, the login for ParalegalSpace is, again, paralegalspace.com, no www. Once you log into the site, you will see your class site right there in front of you. But before we even get into your class site, a couple things I want to show you in this drop-down box next to your name at the top right of the page. When you click in the drop-down box and click on My Account, this is where you will slowly but surely, oh great internet connection being all sorts of slow tonight, this is where you will be able to double check your email address, and of course you are programming in your email address, so one would assume it would be correct, but this is where you'll be able to check your email address, reset your password if you would like, and very, very important, update your time zone. Now, ParalegalSpace is used by students in our paralegal programs across the country, so we all have to adjust our time zones to make sure we are set up in the correct place. Now, this is important because all of your assignments and exams are going to be posted on the site, and they will have very specific due dates and times. So if you are on the wrong time zone, you run the risk of an exam or assignment closing early on you. If that is the case, we will open it up for you again. It's okay. But I also will bring to your attention you haven't reset your time zone. So please do reset your time zone. We're not in Western Europe, although that would be wonderful right now. You want to switch to Eastern Time, US and Canada, and then click on Save. So then you will be good to go when it comes to your time zone on the site. Now, to get back to our site and sort of click through everything that we want to look at in connection with the program, we'll click on Dashboard and go back to that first page that we saw. Now you can see here, we're just really going to go down through each one of these links just so I can familiarize all of you with the site. One of the first things I want to bring to your attention is the recent announcements. We love to communicate with you via announcement. It is a wonderful way to convey information to the entire class at once. When an announcement is posted, you will receive an email notification to the email address you have programmed into the site with the body of the announcement. However, I would strongly suggest that you check recent announcements each time you log on just to make sure you haven't missed anything. When an announcement is posted and when you find it on the site, you can just click on the link right here to go to announcements, or you can click on, let's just go back to Dashboard for a second, or you can click on the announcements link. To take a look at the announcement, just over to the right of the one you want to look at, click on View Announcement, and there it is for you. So you will be able to access all of these announcements from the beginning of time until the end. Excuse me, I should also say I'm fighting a little bit of a cold tonight, so if I start coughing, please do forgive me. But please do keep very close track of the announcements. We feel, conveying important information to you, whether it be something about an assignment, an exam window, classroom change, something to read for class. So please do pay attention to those. Okay. So again, we're just now gonna, I know we skipped down to announcements. We are just going to start clicking through each one of these tabs just so you get a sense of what is available to you on the site and where it is. So textbook orders, that's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you can access links to order your books for the program. The Essential Skills Bundle is a required purchase through the program, as it does include technology fees for Westlaw and Lexis and the website. As some of you who have already ordered your books may know, there is a slight delay in shipments at the moment, but I will be following up within the next day or so with UPS tracking information for all of you who have already ordered your books. In the meantime, and I'll show this to you once we get to that particular link, direct links to the manuals are posted on ParalegalSpace. All of your other books can be purchased via Amazon directly through the publisher in the case of your civil practice book for paralegals. Someone just told me today that if you look for the civil practice book on Amazon, it comes up as costing $1,200 for some bizarre reason. It's about $30, $35 or so if you order directly from the publisher, so please do order directly from the publisher because someone definitely had a heart attack when they saw the price on Amazon. So all of your substantive books you can order new or used. You can get Nook or Kindle editions. You can rent them, just in the case of torts, contracts, and family law. You also don't need to order all of your books at the same time. You're not going to, for instance, take civil procedures until the end of the semester, until close to July. Family law isn't until June. So you definitely don't need to have all of your books at once. Right now, you can do your essentials reading, whether via the hard copy book or via the direct link, and torts you will need for your first class tomorrow night. Your torts syllabus will be posted shortly for you Monday, Wednesday evening students, but basically for everybody. If you read or skim, it's okay, the first 3 chapters of the tort law book, you will be set for class, for your first class. Now, syllabus. This is where your syllabi will be posted over the course of the semester. The main program syllabus is already posted here for you. So if you click over here in the drop-down box on View Syllabus, and then click on the link for the syllabus, it will open up for you. There you go. Oh, did I post the wrong syllabus? It looks like I did. Okay, so ignore this syllabus. I've since updated it because you, no, I haven't. No, you are having essential skills on Monday nights, and no, you started with essential. I'm sorry, it's already been a long day. You started with essentials on this Monday, but you're going to go back to your regular Wednesday schedule on Wednesday. So just for you Monday, Wednesday students, this is your syllabus. For students in other sections, you will have your own syllabus under the syllabus link. But the most important thing to take a look at in the syllabus is just when things are going to be due, what you need to do for essential skills. It really does lay out the entire program for you, so you know that during week 6, your first writing assignments will be assigned, and they are due during week 8. So you can get a good sense of what you're going to be doing over the course of the semester in essential skills. You can gauge your time accordingly, so you know if you have anything coming up or any family obligations or travel or anything like that, you can figure out what you need to do and when to keep up with your work. For each one of your essential classes, you can your substantive classes, you can see here on the left-hand side, we simply have the schedule for the substantive classes. Your substantive instructors will post his or her own individual syllabi with reading assignments prior to your first classes. But you can sort of rest assured that for each one of your classes, if you read the first sort of 1 to 3 chapters of the substantive book before the first class, you will be set for that class. Now, for anyone who does not yet have your the substantive book yet for tort law, let's go back into here for a second. I would strongly suggest that you work through the tort law support, and we'll just sort of let me back up a step for a second. You can see here there are links for support for essential skills, torts, contracts, and family law. We do not have the same structured support for New York procedures, as that class is developed by the individual instructors, but for your other courses you do have study support that tracks what you will read in each one of those books. Now, if you have not yet received your tort law book, I would suggest you go into the tort law study support. For the substantive study support, you will enter the username of Paralegal and the login, the password of student to access the support. and then you will see chapter tabs for each one of the chapters of your tort law book. So if you do not yet have your book, I would suggest you come on in to the study support, read through the chapter outline to get a sense of what you will be covering in the book. Take a look at the support in general, but also you will find, and we'll kind of go back through this also, this is just in response to the question. Also, you will find in resources, under the tort law folder, you will find PowerPoints for each one of your chapters, so you can review the material that is in each chapter in your book. So I'm seeing a couple people are saying that the syllabus received in class last night was different than the one that is online. You should follow the one that is online. You should follow the one that is online. The one that is online is the most up-to-date syllabus. It has your schedule for substantives on Monday and essentials on Wednesday, so please do follow the syllabus that is online. I apologize for any confusion about that. I think we made some last-minute updates to the syllabus, and I may or may not have provided that to poor Jamie at Pace, not knowing that she was going to provide you a hard copy in class. So please do follow the one online, disregard the one that you received in class last night. And this is for Monday, Wednesday students. Okay, so as I mentioned, you do have study support that tracks each one of the chapters in your books. We're actually going to, even though we took a quick look at them just now, we're actually going to skip those for the moment and come back and take a look at them. We already looked at announcements, and we just saw a brief look at resources, but let's take a look at that again. Now, resources is where you will find additional, for lack of a better word, resources to assist you in the program. You will find, as you can see, folders for contracts, essentials, family, procedures, torts, Westlaw, Lexis, you name it, it's probably there. We will, as additional resources come in for the semester or things that we think may be helpful to you, we will add to the resources folder over the course of the semester. But I would strongly suggest you come on in here and click around and see what is available to you. As I mentioned, under torts, you will find the PowerPoints that you will work through in class, and those are very helpful, again, especially if you don't have your book yet. You can at least get a sense of the content of each one of the chapters. For essential skills, this folder is pretty chock full. You will find PowerPoints for essential skills as well, job search materials, timesheets. You're going to keep time for your essentials assignments, and there's also a timesheet tab here, so you can, we'll get to that in a minute. But you will also find a Word document and Excel template for timesheets. Just all sorts of stuff in here, direct links to the essential skills books, things that will be helpful to you in essential skills. So please do, when you have an opportunity, click around and see what is available to you for each one of your classes. Now, assignments. All of your assignments are going to be posted on ParalegalSpace. You are going to submit your work on ParalegalSpace, and then your work will be graded on the site. So, you will see that there is a practice assignment open to you right now, and I would strongly suggest that each one of you give this a try at least once just to get comfortable with the format of submitting assignments online. You will also see that your other assignments for essential skills are in closed format right now with dates that have caused a little bit of confusion, so I apologize for that. As your assignments are assigned and discussed in class, your essential skills instructor will update these submission dates. You will fully discuss this in class, so you'll know exactly when your work is going to be, when this assignment is going to be open, when your work is going to be due, and exactly what you will need to do for assignments. But as work is opened, you will see that it will, the availability here will change from open to close, and your submission dates will also change. Now, when you are ready to submit an assignment, you will click in the drop-down box and click on the tab for Submit. Now, you are going to both copy and paste which you can do right here into this text box, and attach your work as a Word or PDF document. Now, when you're copying and pasting your Word into the text box, it's best to do it by clicking first in the click here to create formatted text. I wish I knew what I had copied and pasted prior to this, because this would be able to, I would be able to show you well, but let's just do, this is a test assignment. Please grade kindly. So you will post your work here. You can copy and paste it right here. Then you will click on this HTML button right here, and you can see there are the directions right up here, so that's very helpful for you to be able to follow along with that. Then copy your work and go back into the text box and paste it. This will ensure that the formatting of your document remains exactly the same as it looks in your attached document. If you copy and paste it straight into the text box here, you will lose some formatting. I will say that your instructors probably prefer to take a look at your work via the attachment, but it's certainly helpful to have nice formatting in the text box. But please do give this a try at least once. You can do it as many times as you want. No one's checking it. You can copy and paste. You can attach a blank document. It doesn't matter what you ultimately post in here. But if you are having any issues with posting of assignments, please do let me know, and I'm happy to troubleshoot with you. So after we've formatted our text and copied it back in here, when we are ready to attach our Word or PDF document, we will simply click on Upload Files, and we will attach that document as we would a document to an email. Now, a couple things when it comes to attaching a document. Some students have reported that they don't see the Upload Files tab right here. As you can see, there is an Upload Files tab. You should be able to see that. If you don't see that, you may, number one, want to switch browsers to see if that resolves the issue. Generally, whenever anyone has any kind of issue on ParalegalSpace, about 99% of the time, a browser issue will resolve that problem. A browser switch will resolve that problem. I'm not sure why, it just does. I use Chrome to access the site. When I run into a conflict, I switch over to Microsoft Edge, which I know a lot of students have been using and have reported that they really enjoy. So if you are having a problem on the site, try switching browsers, see if that resolves the issue. You also, if you do not see this Upload Files tab, you may also want to switch the resolution of your computer. It may just be that this box is a little bit too big on your end and you just can't see that particular tab. Please do give this a try at least once. If you have any issues, let me know, and I am more than happy to troubleshoot with you. Certainly we want to make sure you are comfortable with online submissions and you don't have any problems submitting your work, especially when you are submitting it, about sometimes this happens 5 minutes before it's due and the assignment is about to close. Now, when an actual assignment is posted, or when one of these assignments that's posted is open and the due dates are set, the dates are what they are. So you certainly want to get your work in, and this is where the time zone comes into play as well. You want to make sure you get your work in. If this was a true date, you wanted to get it in by the end of the day, March 1st, 2017, or the assignment will move from open to closed on you. So please give this a try. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, yes, someone has just pointed out that Firefox works. Firefox absolutely works. I actually used to go from Chrome to Firefox all the time, but I've just recently started going to Microsoft Edge for some reason, and that works as well. But Firefox is definitely a wonderful browser to use for the site. Thank you for giving me that friendly reminder. So please do give that one a try as well. Okay, online exams. All of your exams will be taken online on ParalegalSpace. You will have a 1-week exam window for each exam. So when an exam window is open, we will post an announcement letting you know your tort law exam window is now open. It will remain open until March 14th at 10 p.m. So for your substantive classes, you can expect your exam window to open within a couple of days after the end of the substantive class. For essential skills, you'll find your dates on the syllabus, the general dates of when the exam will open, and your instructor will discuss with you more in class the exact date that will open. But you will always see an announcement with the exam window, and you can then take the exam at any point in time during that exam window. So 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever works for you. Now, all of the exams are, for the most part, multiple choice and true-false. You will have an hour to complete each exam, but for your comprehensive exam and essential skills, where you will have 2 hours, and you may only take the exam once. Now, when you are ready to take the exam, you'll click here into this online exam link and then take exam. The site will ask you if you're sure, so be sure if you're sure, because if you start and you're not sure, well, you can't end the exam and start it over again. So this is just a real quick 5-question, obviously, practice exam. For each one of your exams, you'll see a countdown clock over here on the right-hand side. And basically what you will do is just go through and answer each question. So here we go. We're answering each question one by one, and we're done. Your actual exams will have more than 5 questions. Your actual exams will have about 50 questions, but this is just for you to familiarize yourself with online test taking, just to make sure you understand all of it. When you are ready to submit your answers, you will click on Submit Answers, and you will get instant grading gratification. So look, perfect score. That's wonderful. Now, and I'm going to post follow-up announcements about posting assignments, about taking exams and such. So don't feel, I know we're kind of clicking through things quickly this evening, don't feel as if you need to take everything in at this moment and be experts on the site at this moment. You don't have to. Practice makes perfect, and we will certainly be following up with announcements. And again, I'm always available to answer any questions you may have. Now, for this practice exam, you may take it as many times as you want. It doesn't count for anything. It's just to, again, make sure you are comfortable with online exam taking. For an actual exam, once you take the exam, you will have a chance to take a look at it right when you have finished it, but you will not have an opportunity to go back and review it after you click out of this page. So if you want to take a look at it later, you can click on this print tab at the top of the page to print out and save your exam, with the understanding that it is just for you. It is not to be shared with your fellow students, especially those of whom who have not taken the exam yet. So give this one a try. Again, as many times as you want, you can take this. It doesn't count for anything. And certainly let me know if you run into any issues as you are taking it. Okay, your grade book, very empty now. It's okay. It will soon be filled with your grades as you start submitting work and assignments and exams and such. As grades are posted, you will get a notification that they are there in your grade book, but certainly do keep tabs of your grade book, make sure things are posted, make sure your grades are what they should be. You do need to obtain a 70% or higher in each program component in order to pass the program. We're going to talk about that a little further once we get into the code of conduct. But for instance, tort law is going to be the first class that you finish. You will submit your one short writing assignment and take your exam for tort law. You will also receive a tort law participation grade. Once those grades are posted, we will, once those course grades are posted, we will post an announcement to the effect of your tort law course grade has been posted. If anyone's grade is below 70, please reach out to us right away to discuss your options. Now, you do need to obtain a 70% or higher for each program component. So if you see a course grade that is below 70, especially after we post an announcement to that effect, please do reach out to us and discuss your options with us. It may be because you forgot to submit an assignment, you forgot to take your exam, something happened, tort law is not your thing, anything can happen. But we are not going to chase you for missing work, for missing exams. It is incumbent upon you to submit everything when it needs to be submitted and to reach out to us in the event you have a problem. So we'll discuss this a little bit more when we get into the code of conduct, but please do keep track of your grade book and ensure that everything is as it should be. Now, your timesheets. We saw a timesheet folder in the Essential Skills folder under Resources. You will discuss this further in Essential Skills if you have not already. But you just had the one class, so I know it's a little introductory class at the beginning. For each one of the writing assignments that you will submit for Essential Skills, you will also submit a timesheet which keeps track of your billable hours. So as if you were billing to an actual client the work that you are preparing for that client. So someone just asked, is there a writing assignment for the cases we have picked? All of your writing assignments over the course of the semester are going to revolve around your chosen case, your chosen client. Now, your Essentials instructor will discuss this in so much more detail with you, so if you have any questions, it is best to bring it to him or her to answer any specific questions or any specific issues that you have. But your first writing assignments for your specific client will be your demand letter and your client correspondence. Those aren't for several weeks, so you don't have to worry about them yet, and you will be discussing them in a lot further detail in class. But when you do submit those assignments for Essential Skills, you are also going to submit your timesheet with your billable hours. So you're going to keep track of the time you've spent preparing that particular assignment, whether it be doing research, whether it be writing, whatever you're doing for that assignment. Now, again, under the Resources tab, we saw slowly but surely in Essential Skills, there are timesheet templates. So you can utilize a Word document or an Excel document to keep track of your time. But also here on the site, we have a timesheet link where you can add your billable hours entry. So if I wanted to add an entry for today, let's do SVP, RBH, he would love that I saw that. Client name, Wilma Setter, I know that that's a client. Client number, that's kind of an internal issue. And then hours, so let's say 2 hours. And description of work performed, legal research for demand letter. Then I will save that. And my hours have been added. Now, if I want to create a timesheet out of what I have posted here, I would simply click on this tab here, Create Timesheet. I don't really need to do it from the beginning of time until now, but that's okay. We'll just leave it for now, and then download, and that will create my timesheet for this particular project and for this particular client, which you can then attach along with your Essential Skills assignment. So you can use this timesheet tab here on the site. You can use one of the templates under Resources. However you want to do it, it's completely up to you, but you will need to attach your timesheets along with your assignments. I should also note, when you are attaching assignments, let's go into this practice assignment one more time. Two things actually. If you have more than one document to attach, you will upload the first file first, or you can try doing two at once, but if you have more than one to attach, don't upload one file and then click on Save, because that will then submit the assignment and then you won't be able to go back and attach your next document. So upload everything that you need to upload and then click on Save. Also, when you are saving your files to attach, please give them a fairly simple file name. Try to avoid unnecessary spaces, dashes, numbers, number signs, things like that. Simply just put something to the effect of like SVP demand letter, something like that. Sometimes if there are issues with the file name, the file won't open, and then we will have to ask you to resubmit that. So please use a simple file name when you are attaching your work. Okay, and then chat. This is just a fun area of the site for all of you. You can use this if you want. You can ignore it if you want. It is just an area where you can all chat with each other about classes, about work that you're doing. Some classes set up study groups. One class used the chat area simply to make plans for where they were going to have drinks every Wednesday night after class. It is here for you if you would like to use it. You can ignore it if you want. Totally your call, but it is here for all of you. Just be nice in the chat room. We have had students go crazy in the chat room, and that is frowned upon. All right, let's take a look at the study support now. As I mentioned before, we do have study support that tracks each one of the chapters in your Essential Skills, Torts, Contracts, and Family Law books. New York Procedures does not have the same structured study support, and so that is why you would go into Resources and take a look at this New York Procedures folder, because there's all sorts of goodies in here for you. So please do take a look at that when you get to Procedures. Now, we already took a quick look at the tort law support. Contracts and Family Law is set up in the same way. When you click on it, you will need to enter these credentials, paralegal and student, but we already did that, so we don't have to do it again. We recommend that you read the materials in your book, come to class, and participate in in the lectures, and then work through the corresponding study support. So for each chapter, and again, as I mentioned, the structure is the same for Contracts and Family Law too. For each chapter, you will simply click on the chapter tab at the top for the chapter you're working on, and then work through the corresponding support. At the end, you will find a chapter quiz for each chapter. These are just for you. There is no, you don't get a grade on them. They're just for your review and to ensure that you understand the material. I have heard from some students that sometimes there is an issue with the check your work button coming up at the bottom. That is where a browser switch might come in handy. So if you have any sort of issue finishing up the quizzes and checking your work, please do check your browser, switch your browser, and give it another whirl. Okay, that is the substantive support, and then we have all sorts of support for essential skills. So, just like the substantive support, Essentials will track each one of the chapters in your Essential Skills books. So again, read the materials prior to coming to class, come to class, listen to and participate in the lectures, and then come in here into the Essential Support and click on the link for Essential Skills. Now you will see both via the syllabus and as you are working through your materials in the book that those materials are broken down into various segments. Excuse me. So you will work through those segments, A through F, from beginning to end. So you're going to start off with segment A, and when you click into a particular segment, it will let you know what volume and what chapters it covers. So segment A will cover volume 1, chapters 1 through 6. So basically what you will do is you'll click on the segment in which you're working, click on the chapter in which you're working, and then just work through the support that accompanies it. And then there's just all sorts of stuff in here for you. So I would just strongly suggest when you're coming in and working through the support that you do just click on everything, read it all through, see what's available to you, see what various, you can see right down here, there's a viewpoint, see what comes up and what other demonstrations and such are within this particular support. Now, when you have finished the support for a segment, you can see at the bottom under the last chapter there is a tab for segment wrap-up. So when you click on that, this is where you will find all sorts of Quizlets, little quizzes, practice quizzes, to test yourself on what you have learned in that particular segment. And you will also find a whole series of mock exams within each segment that you can also test yourself on the material. Now, the Quizlets, the mock exams, these are great to work through as you are going along, as you are working through the materials and the segment. Make sure you understand anything, pinpoint any areas where you may need some additional assistance, but certainly as you are preparing for the exams in Essential Skills, you'll take a Volume 1 exam testing you on the material in that manual, Volume 2 exam, and then a comprehensive which tests you on everything you've learned in Essential Skills. You may also want to go through and take the Quizlets and mock exams and such at that point as you are prepping for your exams. Now, these mock exams and quizzes you can take as many times as you want. They do not count for anything. They are just for you to help you make sure you understand everything, and again, pinpoint any areas where you may need some additional assistance. So you will find that wrap-up section, this wrap-up section, under each one of the segments. Now, when you get to the bitter end, when we're at, I got to click all the way back now. When we get to the bitter end and we're in segment F, and we've finished everything in Essential Skills and we're about to take the comprehensive exam, under the segment F, breakdown of support, under that segment wrap-up link, you will find the same mock exams and quizzes that you find under the other tabs, but you will also find a comprehensive review. So just put that in your back pocket. You don't have to worry about that for about 5 months. But just keep that in mind. There is a comprehensive review within the segment F, segment wrap-up, so you can review for your final exam. Now, another thing you may have seen as we were taking a look at the support, there is a where you've been section that you can use or not use if you want. This is just an area of the site where you can keep track of where you've been, the time that you have, not the time you have spent, we'll talk about that in a second, but that actually reminds me of something I need to add to your site. You can keep track of the support that you have worked through. So if you would like to utilize where you've been, and again, this is just a convenience for you, you don't have to utilize it. When you click on this segment pages link right here, where you have been will come up in green, and if you haven't been somewhere, it will be in red. Now again, if you want to utilize this function, you can see here under the instructions, you do need to ensure that you have cookies enabled on your browser. If cookies are not enabled, then nothing will turn green and it will look like you haven't been anywhere. But again, this is just for you. We actually can't see where you've been. This is just for your convenience and to ensure that you know, again, where you've been and you can keep track of the work you have done. Now, the next thing that we are going to take a look at is under this Labs on Demand tab. And this is where you can find additional labs that will assist you as you are working through your Essential Skills class. Now, when we click on Labs on Demand, you can see here on the left-hand side we have 3 different labs: legal research, legal writing, and citations. Legal research is where, if you've been to one of the information sessions that we have had for the program, you will know that we have all sorts of slides for the law library that we have online. So you can come on in here into the Legal Research Lab, click on the Law Library Lab, and you do need to have Flash to ensure that that works properly. But this is an area of the site where you will be able to familiarize yourself with the types of materials that you will find online via either Westlaw or Lexis, and we're going to talk about that in a second. You will find online or in an actual brick and mortar law library. You can't do actual searchable research in the law library online, but again, it is an area of the site where you can kind of get used to the books you'll be poking around in and the materials you will find online. Now, what you do when you come on in here, you'll click on one of the books in the stacks, and the site will find that book, and then over here on the right-hand side, you can learn everything you ever wanted to know about this particular book, these materials, and then some. Click on each one of these links at the top. You'll get a picture of the book over here on the left-hand side. The book will open up. You will learn how to research in this particular book, the most efficient way to find what you need to find, and how the books are updated. So again, as you are beginning your study of legal research, please do click around in this law library lab to just kind of get familiar with what you're going to be dealing with. Now, you will also receive access to both Westlaw and Lexis. You can access links right here, or when we provide you with your codes, they will be provided directly in the letter that you will get with your codes. When your codes are provided to you, and that will be about 2 to 3 weeks from now, because you don't get into the study of legal research right away, so you don't need them right away. But when they are provided, they will be posted in your Dropbox on ParalegalSpace, and we'll take a look at that in a minute. But your Westlaw access, you will have for the duration of the program. Lexis, you will have access for 1 year from your start date. Again, when they are posted, I just added a couple links to, why am I not seeing them? I just added a couple links to your site. When they are posted, I'm literally working on my other computer right now, adding links to your site that I see did not quite make it when we put the site up, and they're not coming up. Oh, because I put them on the wrong site. When they are posted and they are available to you, they will be posted in your Dropbox on ParalegalSpace, which I am going to show you in about 2 seconds. So just give me a second. Okay. Your Dropbox on ParalegalSpace is an area of the site where here we go. All right, on your Dropbox on ParalegalSpace. Oh, there it is. So this is where we will post your Westlaw and Lexis codes. When they are posted, you will get an email notification letting you know they are there, but we will also post an announcement to let you know your Westlaw and Lexis codes have been posted. So please do keep an eye out for that. When those codes are generated, Lexis codes will be sent to you directly from Lexis via email. Westlaw codes will not. So you will get your Lexis codes via email. That's kind of a harbinger of things to come, so to speak. Once you receive that Lexis email, you will know that that Word document with both the Westlaw and Lexis codes will be posted in your Dropbox shortly thereafter. But again, that happens about 2 to 3 weeks after your start date. So a couple weeks from now, you will get those. Going back to the Dropbox for a minute, this is an area of the site that's just for you. We can post things for you here, and quite honestly, the main thing that's posted here are your Westlaw and Lexis codes. But if you want to save things for yourself here, you can post them in the Dropbox. If you find a case that you find particularly helpful online, you can post it in your Dropbox. Please just don't post your assignments in your Dropbox. You are the only ones who know what's in there. You are the ones who receive notifications when something is posted in there. We would not go to look for your assignment in your Dropbox. So please do not post anything you want any of us to see, assignment instructors or administrators, in your Dropbox. Okay, now going back to our labs on demand, that is the legal research lab. Another lab on demand we have, oh, my mouse is so terrible, is the legal writing lab. This is where you can find templates for all of the documents that you will prepare in your Essential Skills class. So you can click on here, click in here into the Legal Writing Lab, click on the document. Oh, my poor mouse is really not wanting to do anything anymore. Click on the document at the top of the page that you want to take a look at and then you would like to prepare. So let's take a look at the, oh my goodness, the complaint. And a template of a complaint will come up right here, and over on the right hand side you can choose the document you are working on, complaint. You can listen to an audio lecture, and then you can take a look at a step-by-step guide of the various components that you need to include in your complaint. Now, there's no reinventing the wheel in the law. If I have drafted a summons and complaint 6 months ago for a car accident case and a new car accident case comes into my office, I am not going to start from scratch. I am going to take that old summons and complaint, take out the old facts, put in the new, polish it up nicely, and have a wonderful draft to submit to the attorney that I work for filing. So with that in mind, again, you have templates for all of the documents you'll prepare in Essential Skills. You can also find templates online if you just simply Google summons and complaint. I mean, if you Google summons and complaint, a million things will come up. So, you know, narrow down, hone in on your search terms, but also on Lexis, you have access to the Form Finder database, and that is where you will be able to find various templates and such for many of the documents that you will prepare in Essentials. So please do, you know, work within these templates. Also, if you take a look in the resources folder and Essential Skills, you will find various, why do I keep wanting to click over here? It's not over here, it's here. You will find also sample documents, so you can take a look at how these various documents are prepared and what you need to include in them. And then the final lab on demand we have for you in Essential Skills is the Citations Lab. Just kind of put this in your back pocket until you get to the study of citations and essentials. But this will assist you as you are learning to both read and write state and federal citations. And citations are that series of letters and numbers that you will see after a case name lets you know where you can find the case, when the case was decided, what court, whether it is mandatory authority for your court, persuasive authority, and whether you can use it, whether you can rely upon it in your legal arguments, whether you should rely upon it in your legal arguments. So again, just keep this in mind. It is here for you, another lab to work through and to assist you as you are learning the study of citations. Now, these labs on demand here, you can find them under the Essential Skills support, but you will also find a separate link for labs on demand, so you can just go straight to them. Okay, that is Paralegal Space. We are going to get into the Code of Conduct next. If anybody has any questions about the site or anything we just went through, please do feel free to type them into the questions box. Again, I know we go through things pretty quickly here during the webinars. Number one, I will be posting follow-up announcements with much of what we went through this evening. So don't, again, as I mentioned earlier, don't feel as if you need to be experts. You don't. You will figure it out because practice definitely makes perfect. So I would encourage you to, you know, definitely click around on the site and get comfortable. But we will be following up with announcements, submitting assignments announcements right around, you know, right as your first assignments are being posted and before they're due. Definitely before it's time to take your first exam, we'll be posting an online exam tips announcement. You know, please rest assured that we will be following up with you to make sure you have all the information you need to successfully navigate the site. Obviously, if you have any questions as you are working through the site or any tech issues or anything like that, please do reach out to me, svp@paralegalspace.com, my initials svp@paralegalspace.com, and I'm always happy to troubleshoot with you. So with all that in mind, let us take a look at the Code of Conduct and go through some of the high points. We're not going to go word for word. We'll go through some of the high points. Now, the Code of Conduct, you can find it under, oh my goodness, my mouse. You can find it under announcements, because I have attached it to the very first announcement I posted for y'all, so it's right here under the announcements. But you can also find it always under the resources tab, close at hand. We can download it and take a look at it. So As I said, we're just going to go kind of through the high points of this. I believe for you, Monday, Wednesday students last night, Jamie Liotta at Pace probably asked if you were ready to turn in your signature page. If you did do that already, thank you so much. If you have not turned in your signature and acknowledgement page, please do be sure to do that either on Wednesday or next Monday. But let's go through some of these highlights. Number 2, attendance. It's required. You must attend each one of your classes. If you miss more than 25% of your essential skills classes, which is a lot of essential skills classes, you have it for the entire 5 months. So you really have to make a concerted effort to miss more than 25% of essential skills. But if you do, you will not pass essential skills. If you miss more than 30% of a substantive course, which is about one course and then one class and then partway into the second class, you will not pass that substantive course. So please do make every effort to come to class, not only because there's an attendance policy, but also because we obviously go through a lot of material in a short period of time. In particular for the substantive classes, you only have 4 of each one of those classes. So if you miss one of them, you're going to miss a huge amount of material. With that being said, obviously we understand that things do come up over the course of the semester. So if you do have any attendance issues, if you're sick, if you're stuck at work, if you have childcare issues, if you're trapped on the subway, trust me, I get it. I've been trapped on the subway. And I know that it's not always easy to email from the subway, but anyway, just please do keep us posted. Let us know what's going on. For each one of your substantive classes, class participation counts for 25% of your grade. So obviously, if you are not there, that's going to count against your class participation. But if you communicate with us, let us know there's an issue that you can't make it to class for whatever reason. We will take that into consideration in calculating your final participation grade. If you just don't show up and don't say anything to us, and we have no idea what's going on, certainly that will count against you as far as participation is concerned. But please do communicate with us if something should come up. It's 5 months. Things come up. It happens. It's okay. If you are late than more than 45 minutes, attendance credit will not be given for that class. Again, listen, we all depend on the subway more often than not, and whether we like it or not. So things happen. So, just do your best to get to class on time. And if things happen, probably if there's a subway issue, you all are going to be late. So it is what it is. All of your instructors are practicing attorney or judges in the New York area. They may be tied up in court sometimes, depositions, things come up with clients, one never knows. If they are late, and it's only happened a handful of times over the years where an instructor has been late for whatever reason, generally they will reach out to either myself or Jamie and let us know that they're running late, and we can post an announcement on the site right away, or Jamie literally right around the corner from you, Monday, Wednesday students. So she can just run in and let you know what is going on. But if you haven't heard from any of us, an instructor is more than 30 minutes late, you can call it a night. But that hasn't happened. We let you know. Please do be on the lookout for any announcements or visits from Jamie, Monday, Wednesday students, in the event you don't see your instructor by the class time. And your essentials instructor, Michael Pachia, he is generally very timely. I can't recall ever having an issue with him, and I'm talking for the New York City students right now. White Plains students have a different instructor, but for the New York City students, Michael Pachia is spot on when it comes to coming to class. So anyway, written assignments, due dates, and late work. Your work is due when it's due. Your work is required to be submitted on or before the due date. You will know when the due date is. It will be via the assignments tab. We will post announcements to let you know. Please calendar it accordingly. Due dates are, of course, very important in the law, so you definitely want to get used to keeping track of your dates and making sure that you submit your work on time. Your work must be submitted on ParalegalSpace, copy and pasted as an attachment, as we went through before. For essential skills, late work will be accepted for 7 days after the due date. First late assignment, you will receive a reduction of 10 points. Second late assignment, reduction of 20 points, and the third late assignment will not be accepted. For your substantive assignments, you will just have one assignment for each substantive class. So if that one is late, you will receive a deduction of 20 points. So please do, again, keep track of your due dates. As I mentioned before, if your work is not submitted on time, you are responsible for submitting it on time or letting us know that there's going to be some kind of issue either submitting on time or within the 1 week grace period. So absent a documented emergency, if work has not been submitted or arrangements have not been made for you to submit your work at an agreed upon date, you will receive a 0 for that assignment or that exam. Same with exams, but we'll talk about that in a second. We're not going to chase you for your work, so please do keep track of when work is due. So you will prepare your assignments as you would any assignment for any class anywhere. Type it, double space it, put your name on it, number your pages. Again, all of your work will be submitted online, but please do keep hard copies of your work as well, because you will, for essential skills, put all of those hard copy assignments into your client file folder, which your instructor will take a look at the end of the semester. So please do keep hard copies, and just please keep electronic copies of everything too. I had an instance one time where it was at the end of the semester. It was I think family law was at the end that semester, and that was the last assignment to be submitted. And about a week after everyone had submitted, the instructor went in to take a look at those assignments, and one student had not copied and pasted her work and had attached the wrong document. So I reached out to the student and asked her to resubmit, and she told me that the program was over, so she'd gotten rid of everything that she'd prepared for the program. Except the program really wasn't over. All the grades weren't in yet. So to her chagrin, she had to redo her entire family law assignment. So another reason to both copy and paste your work and attach the document, just in case something like that happens, but also maintain your digital files until everything is said and done. Once all final grades are in, and once we get close to graduation, you get your certificate, you can do whatever you want with your paralegal files. But unless and until that happens, please do hang on to them. Retain document retention, retain your documents in the event there should be any issues with grading. For essential skills, your grades will be posted, give or take, 14 days after the assignment is due. For New York City students, Michael Paccia, Professor Paccia, will discuss his grading policies and timeframes and such with you. For White Plains students, Judge Giacomo will discuss with you. For substantive assignments, grades are posted, give or take, within 7 days from the assignment due date. I say give or take because obviously all of your instructors, again, attorneys or judges in the New York City area, we don't know what they're doing outside of the classroom, whether they are in trial, what they are caught up in, and how they would like to handle their particular class in a particular semester. So they will discuss further with you. As far as grading is concerned, for essential skills, there are 2 separate grading components: essentials exams and essentials assignments. For essentials exams, you will take 3 exams: Volume 1 worth 25%, Volume 2 worth 25%, and the comprehensive, which is worth 50%. You must receive a cumulative 70% or higher in order to pass the essentials exams component. For essentials assignments, you will submit numerous assignments, the breakdown of which is, and the weighting of which is down here at the end of page 3, which will be discussed further in class with your instructors. Certainly the the earlier assignments, demand letter, and client correspondence are going to be weighted less than your later assignments. So this will kind of give you an idea of how things will be weighted. And again, your instructors will discuss with you further in class. But for your essentials assignments, you need to also obtain a 70% or higher in order to pass that program component. Now, in order to pass essential skills as a whole, you need a 70% in the exams component and the assignments component. So, if you write like Hemingway and you receive 100% cumulative for assignments, but you're just not in a good exam taker, and it happens, that's okay, and you get below 70 for exams, you will not pass essential skills. For each one of your substantive classes, you will have one writing assignment worth 25%, class participation is worth 25%, and your exam is worth 50%, also 70% cumulative or higher to pass each substantive. Just like assignments, you are required to take your exam within the exam window, absent a documented emergency. If you have not taken an exam within the exam window time and you have not reached out to us that there's some sort of issue, you will get a 0 on that exam. And if there are any issues as far as successfully completing a particular program component, certainly we will do our best to work with you to try to get you over that hump. But if that is not available, there is an opportunity to resit the various components of the program. As far as the website is concerned, you are required to work through the materials on the website. Required, quote unquote required. Required to accumulate at least 260 hours online in addition to the time spent in the classroom. I say quote unquote required because it is required in the same sense that coming to class, participating in lectures, submitting your work on time, and such is required. Program completion requirements are what we just went through, 70% or higher in each program component, as well as the attendance component. But you do need to utilize the online resources, and so we have set out a requirement of an amount of time that you should spend utilizing the online resources. They are there to help you. They are there to enhance what you're learning in class, to build upon what you're learning in class, reviews, etc. It's all very, very helpful to you. Now, you can keep track of your online hours by clicking on this time track tab on, oh, look how many classes I'm keeping time of. This time track tab over here on the left-hand side, and I have already spent 26 minutes and 30 seconds. I feel like it's been longer. I've already spent that amount of time working within the study support, not just on the sideline line, just within the study support. So this is study support time. If you feel as if your hours are not accurately reflected, please let me know, and we can manually add hours on this end. We also recommend that you log into the support whenever you're doing anything for the program. So if you're reading, if you're writing, if you're researching, log on in and accumulate those hours. But please, 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 don't get hyper-focused on your hours. They are, again, a quote-unquote requirement. They are there. The requirement is there to help you, to motivate you to work through the support. We have found that those students who have had problems in the program are those who do not utilize the support that is available to them. So that is why within the last several years we have instituted an online hours requirement. It is not there to stress you out. It is not there to drive you crazy. Don't get hyper-focused on it. Your hyper-focus or your focus should be on what you are learning and understanding the material. It should not be on the amount of hours you have spent online. But please do keep in mind that you should be spending hours online and you should be working through the support available to you. Now, you are expected to utilize all the resources on the site, read all announcements, as I mentioned earlier, be nice in the chat room, and if anyone has any technical problems while you are on the support or in the site, within the study support, there is a report a problem right here. You can submit that, or you can just write to me directly, and I will troubleshoot for you. Again, svp@paralegalspace.com. We did have a question, will we have to create hard copy folders as we go along, or will they be accepted at the end of the course, assuming that they have been electronically submitted? For all of you sections, Professor Paccia and Judge Giacomo will describe to you or share with you exactly what they are looking for as far as your client file folders are concerned. They will be collected at the end of the semester. So if you want to work on them as you are going along and put your assignments in there as you are going along, you are welcome to do that, but they will not be collected by your instructors until the very end of the semester. But they will discuss that further with you in class. Communicating with instructors and administrators. Your instructors will give out their preferred email and or phone and whatever contact information they would like to share with you. You have my email, you have my phone number in my in the signature of my email. You have Jamie Liotta at Pace's phone number and email. Please again know that all of your instructors, again, practicing attorneys, they all have jobs outside of the classroom. I am also a practicing attorney and fully practicing outside of working in the program. I also coordinate about 9 other paralegal programs across the country. And Jamie at Pace, or anyone else at Pace that you may have communication with, also has numerous other programs that they are working on. So give us a chance to respond. You should expect an email response within 72 hours from the date of the email. Generally, you'll get a response faster than that, but please don't email and then follow up 5 minutes later. If you are emailing on the weekend, you will often get a response on the weekend, especially from me. I tend to work a lot on the weekends, but please don't expect your instructors or anyone from PACE to get back to you over the weekend. If you have an emergency, if you have a dire emergency, any kind of an emergency, you need immediate attention, please email me and let me know, svp@paralegalspace.com. But again, please do give us an opportunity to write back to you. Okay, almost done. I hate talking about these next two provisions of the Code of Conduct, but things have come up, so I have to. So ethics and plagiarism, all of your work is your own work. There are no group projects. If we've determined that any work you've submitted has been plagiarized, you will get a 0 for the first offense. Second offense, you will fail that program component, and third offense, you will respectfully be requested to leave the program. We've seen things come up over the years. 2 students in one class submitted the exact same assignment, just simply switched out their names at the top of the page. It was patently obvious. I'm not sure what they thought they were doing, but we caught it immediately. Another less obvious instance, which we still caught immediately, a student copied and pasted directly from a website. Listen, that's cool if you're going to put quotes around it. If you're going to cite properly from it, you can copy and paste from an entire website. Just cite it. Let your reader know that this isn't your own work. Make sure you properly cite to all of your sources in your writing. This student did not cite to her sources in all of her writing. We actually discovered it, and we also discovered that it wasn't even an American legal website. It was a British legal website, so she was definitely off base there. So don't do any of that. Your work is your own. If you were citing from any sources, please let us know. Please cite properly to your sources. You're also expected to follow all rules when it comes to exams. Now, all of your exams are closed book. That may seem counterintuitive when you're taking your exams online. During a window, you can take them whenever you want. There are no proctors, no one's watching you take them. But the way the exams are structured, you will definitely not complete that exam if you are busily flipping through your books looking for the answers. And believe it or not, while it may seem like no one would ever be able to catch if there was an issue with an exam taking, I've caught issues with exam taking. So please do follow all of the rules of the program. Listen, for all the jokes that are out there, and this kind of is a perfect segue into my Rule 8, professionalism, for all the jokes that are out there about, attorneys being sharks and this and that, and it is a profession that has a high standard of ethics, and there is a code of ethics that attorneys need to adhere to, and that paralegals are under that same umbrella of the attorney code of ethics. So please do follow all of the rules that are set out for you when it comes to assignments, when it comes to exams and test taking and such. Please be professional and respectful towards your instructors, administrators, fellow students. You know, it's, again, I get it. There are all sorts of jokes out there about lawyers. I've heard them all. I've been practicing for a long time. But at the same time, it is definitely a profession where one does need to be ethical and have high standards, and that will be expected of you when you are out in the profession. If you're already working as a paralegal or a legal assistant or in a law firm or corporation, or if you are getting ready to do so, and this this program is your jumpstart. So please do treat others as you would like to be treated. And then finally, no recordings of any class. Now, if for some reason someone has a conflict, can't come to class, you know, we are sometimes, upon request, able to make arrangements for you to make up that class in one of the other sections. We generally don't like to do that a lot, so certainly don't think like, I just don't feel like going to class tonight, I'll make up for it in another section. You know, all the instructors are, for the most part, different. The way they teach the material is different, their exams are different, their assignments are going to be different. So, you know, while you get the gist of things, you know, it's not going to be the same as if you are in your class with your instructor. Also, it's just, you know, tough to bounce around a lot. So we do, you know, we don't encourage it, but if something comes up, you know, let us know and we will do our best to work with you to see if there is another section you can sit in on. But again, please don't make that kind of your go-to plan if you don't feel like going to class. So again, if you have not already signed the Code of Conduct and turned it in to Jamie in class last night, please do so on Wednesday night, or certainly no later than Monday night. That is the gist of what I wanted to go through with everyone this evening. If anyone has any questions, you can please feel free to type them into the question box now, and I will be more than happy to answer them for you. I have recorded this session, so for anybody not in the Monday, Wednesday class, and I've made Monday, Wednesday references, you can disregard those references, but the information in general, just as far as, again, say turning in the Code of Conduct, you're not going to turn it in on Wednesday because you don't have class on Wednesday. So, but you will need to turn it in at some point, depending upon what class you are in. This, I have recorded the session. I am going to post it on the site under resources, a link to that recording so you can, you know, listen to me again if you want to. More power to you if you do, and thank you if you do. But you certainly can review any portions of the recording that you would like to take another look at. But I am always here to help you. Again, svp@ParalegalSpace.com. Please do feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions, if you need any assistance. We want you to have a great semester. We want you to learn a lot. We want you to have fun. And we are all here to help you and encourage you and get you to that graduation at the end of the summer and the early fall. So please do feel free to reach out to any one of us with any issues you may have. I don't see any questions coming in. Sometimes, of course, the best question is the one that you remember after we log off tonight. So that's okay. If that's the case, just drop me a line later. Again, svp@ParalegalSpace.com. If there are no further questions, and it doesn't look like there are, I guess we will call it a night. I will thank you for your time and attention, and I will see you all on Paralegal Space. So have a wonderful semester. Thank you again, and have